Okay, so here's the deal. I made this video this morning and I don't know what is going on, but it has taken forever to download and I'm trying to merge it, whatever. Long story short, I'm making the video again. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about depression. I had a few people that asked me to talk about this because I've been there. For those of you that don't know my story and don't know how low and how bad it was for me, you can go to my website, jenn.m.aguirre.com, jenn.m.aguirre.com, and read Who's Jen. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to just think that nothing's going to get better. And most of the time, people don't really even understand where their depression is coming from. So I have to say that I feel like I'm truly blessed to have hit rock bottom so that I could get to the point where I was able to figure it out. I will say this though, in the video that I have done before in the past, first time shame on them, second time shame on you, it's all about taking control. It's all about doing something about it. I was actually just having this conversation with one of my clients and about you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. God, you can watch TV right now and you can put on the TV, and we were watching Bar Rescue, me and my husband, and right before I was about to leave to go pick up my son from school, and every single time the commercials came on, it was this commercial for a fat burner that starts with a B, I don't remember what it was, and it said, side effects, if you start to have suicidal thoughts, please contact your doctor. What? Okay, so I talked about this in the last video. Doctors are so quick to put people on medicine, and when I posted the video, I had a friend of mine on Facebook that made a comment, yes, everything that you're saying in there is true because I worked for a doctor's office. There are so many doctors out there that, I'm not saying if you're a doctor that you don't care about your patients, but there are so many doctors out there that are so quick to give medication to people. Why? Because they make a commission on it. I go to a doctor that I recently started going to a year ago that is an actual clinical doctor, and she can prescribe medicine, but she believes in the homeopathic nutrition and all that other stuff. And even though I know about nutrition, we've been mixing it a little bit with a lot of the things that I just found out about over a year ago with some of my medical issues, which you guys kind of know about because I posted about it, but there are a lot of other things. But you have the control. You have the control to get up and do something. If you're feeling depressed, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and be depressed about being depressed? Or are you going to say, I need to take control? And a lot of the times it's so hard to even think of that. I call it hyperfocus, when you're in this hyperfocus to your depression. But then there comes a time where you have to say, okay, I'm watching this video. Jen's telling me what to do, so I'm tomorrow going to set myself up for success. Tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to, maybe you're just not mentally ready right now to do the physical side, but maybe you're going to get up and you're going to go to the bookstore. Now, if you guys don't know, I had a nervous breakdown at 23 after locking myself into my mom's attic, binging and purging. I figured out what my issue was. If you haven't read the 4 Agreements, I live my life by it. If you haven't listened to Awaken the Giant Within, pain and pleasure, you're more likely to stay on track and it will change your life. But you have to do something about it. Oh my God, I lost my mind and I ate bad. Okay, then what did you learn from it? How can you make it better the next day? Getting back to these medications, 99.9% of them are turning you into somebody else, and you're not identifying with what the problem is. I don't really like to badmouth this, but I've recently read some articles on it, and you hear about The Biggest Loser. And what happens? They're in this enclosed area and they have trainers that are on top of them and they're monitoring everything that they're eating and all that other stuff, and they're doing their workouts. And maybe in the beginning people need a professional with them, but realistically you're not dealing with the issue, you're not dealing with the problem, you're not identifying with the emotional, the 4th component that I talk about, believing you could do this, which some of them end up doing, but then figuring out where it all comes from and having it be sustainable for a long time. So a lot of the times with these depressions and food addictions and all that other stuff and any other addiction, it's because you haven't really identified what the problem is, or you haven't set yourself up for success with coping skills. So what did I do when I first got out of the hospital? I got like 4 jobs. I was working at the front desk as a trainer, then I became a trainer, then I started working for the company that certified me, then I started working for the company that certified me, but they also give people CECs, and then I started helping trainers get certified. So I was doing all those jobs. I was staying out of my house because I knew where I was staying originally, it just brought out emotions. And then when I got my own apartment, I had to not be there. I had to be out of my house. I couldn't even eat a meal in my own apartment. I had to eat it outside of my apartment and then walk in, because I knew my coping skills. That was what I knew. I could not put myself in that environment. I couldn't eat a meal in a comfortable apartment. I couldn't eat a meal at a family member's house. I couldn't, where I was. You have to at some point say, okay, I need to figure out what my coping skills are going to be. I can't cook dinner for my family and eat out of the bowl. I have to separate my stuff, and then I have to do something right after. Or maybe you cook for your kid, or just that you have to figure out what it is. Depression and depression meds are changing who you are. Food, I have told people a million times, statistically, I should not have this much lean muscle tissue. I should be skinny. I should also be overweight due to my hypothyroid. I should also not be able to run because I have fasciitis, plantar fasciitis in my feet. I have lots of different issues. I have this is KT tape for my knee, but for years, many years ago, I was told that I needed double knee replacement on both my knees, and I said, no way. Just everything with my Crohn's, I was told that I needed to be on medication, and I did my research. Food is emotions. Food is like a cancer. Food is depression. Food is lack of sleep, lack of creativity. And it is a known fact that if you improve your food, I've done challenges on Facebook and on whatever, and I've done not push-up and squat challenges, those are garbage. I've done challenges like, I challenge you to not eat any man-made food for a week. I challenge you to not eat any dairy for a week and see if you feel different. My latest challenge, I challenge you to not watch TV for a week. And every single time you're thinking about watching TV on your phone, in the house, you get up and you go to the bookstore and you read. You go out in the park, you go for a run, you go buy a bicycle, you buy a pair of rollerblades, you do something to get out and be active. If you're not ready right now because you don't feel comfortable in your own skin, then you have to go get yourself in a different place. Maybe redo your apartment. Maybe sit outside if the weather is nice. But the bookstore, you can hide in the bookstore and you can sit. When I first got out of the hospital, when I wasn't working, and I was working 7 days a week for the first 2 years, when I first got out of the hospital, when I wasn't working, I was in the bookstore, and I would sit in the self-help part, and I would read. That was when I read the 4 Agreements. That was when I read The Secret. That was when, and it's all about the way that you think of things. Like one of the examples that he gives you is, if you think I got to get out of debt, you're actually attracting more debt. But if you think I got to make more money, I got to make more money. Food, again, like more, and I've done videos on more people that own businesses need to treat their employees to fruit baskets and basket bouquets instead of chocolates, because they're making their employees less efficient. If you're watching this right now and you're thinking, but I can't even fathom doing anything like this, getting out, I can't, I'm just too depressed, then every morning, and this might be hard, every morning, every night, you need to do something different in your house. You need to order some stuff on Amazon, and literally what Tony Robbins talks about, linking pain and pleasure. So I'm tired, I'm sick all the time, I'm this, but you need to, at the end of the day, in the back of your mind, you need to say, I am sick and tired of feeling like this. I'm more sick and tired of feeling like this. Pain and pleasure. I like Cadbury eggs. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. There was a commercial for the Easter egg Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And when I saw that, I just thought, I'm going to be sick and I'm not going to be able to play with Koa. And I mean, what do we do on the weekends? What did I do yesterday with my husband and my son for like 2 hours in the park? We played baseball, and I'm running around outside with him. And if I don't eat right, I could not be able to do that with my family. And whether you have a family or not, it has to be about something. You have to find what your fire is. So what is going to be that pain and that pleasure? I want to feel like this. I want to do this. I want this job. Literally, that is what food does. But the point of the video is really about the depression, and is really about, and I know what that feels like. And I will be honest with you, when I was in the hospital, I figured out where my depression came from. And my depression was I was trying to please everybody. And I am so the opposite of that now. So the opposite. Like, I think that's part of the reason why I have so many tattoos and so much muscle as a girl and all that other stuff, and why I try to be stronger than the guys in the gym, because I just want to be so outside the box, because I was for so long trying to, oh, you want me to do this? Or you want me to be a waitress? Or you want me to own a restaurant? Which I did. You want me to own a restaurant and marry a guy just because he's Sicilian, because I'm Italian? But meanwhile, he's abusive, and he's verbally abusive, and he's got a temper, and he's got a past for hitting, and he actually did hit me, and you justify it and say, oh, at least it's only the first time he hit you. These are true on conversations. So what did I do? I realized that I was trying to live my life to please everybody. And there are a lot of supporters in my family, but there were a lot of people that weren't. And I just did not, I had been toyed with my whole entire life as a child. Oh, you should go try out for this. You should go audition for this thing. And then I'm getting ready to go the next day, and it's, why the hell are you going there? You're not good enough to do that. Yeah, that is what I went through. And when you go, and when I spent all that time in the hospital with all those people that helped me 7 days a week, which is the reason why I help clients 7 days a week, which is why I never take a vacation from them. Until I stop doing this, when I'm 80, and P.S. I'll still be ripped at 80, I am going to be doing this for clients 7 days a week. I need you guys as much as you might need me. So you have to find out what it is that's making you this way. Maybe you won't figure it out for a while. Maybe watching videos every day, maybe getting up and looking at yourself in the mirror is the hardest thing you have to do, and then compliment yourself. I posted a video on Facebook. My son and I do it every morning, and he actually tells me now he doesn't want me to remind him. So this morning he walked downstairs and he said, Mommy, my positive affirmation today is that I'm going to learn something in school, and I'm going to have a good time with you after school, because he knew that I was going to pick him up. We were going to finish up his homework on Monday. We're going to finish up his homework, and then we were going to play soccer. And then he knows he's going to tell me his positive affirmation at 8:30 tonight, which I have a reminder on my phone just in case if I forget, because I have a terrible memory, but nobody knows that because I have all my coping skills. You would never know, but I have reminders for everything, Post-its for everything. What are going to be your coping skills? What are you going to do today to make tomorrow a little bit better? I hope this helps somebody. Leave comments if you want more specifics on certain scenarios. I'll be more than happy to do that.